Hi there, I'm Sharon Wilsie, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the book Horse Speak and what this concept is all about. So basically, horse speak is the concept of the body language that horses use to communicate with each other. And what that means is that horses use everything from facial expressions to the angle of approach to the way they flick their tail. Every single movement through the horse's body says something. And so what's really exciting about this is that we can learn not only what are they saying as they move things through their body, but we can learn to emulate that with our own body, even though we're shaped totally differently from them. Like we have hands, they don't. Even though that's a stark difference, horses understand our body language when we are matching it to theirs for the simple reason that body language is the most natural language system in the world. All the animals are using body language. And in fact, when we're little kids, we're using body language pretty much exclusively until we learn to speak in our native tongue. So once we learn more speech patterns, we start to tune the body language into the subconscious mind. And then the subconscious mind takes it over. And so we're getting perhaps intuition, or we say, oh, I got a funny feeling about this. But actually, your subconscious mind is reading the nonverbal cues from the world and giving you information about this is a good idea, this is a bad idea, this feels like something to move towards, this feels like something to move away from. And that's to help us get what we want, help us avoid problems, so forth and so on. Well, horses use their body language for largely the same reasons. Who do I bond with? Who do I not bond with? What's a safe environment or person or thing? And what's not safe? When we can understand how horses are communicating this with each other, we can step in and start communicating these same ideas to them, which is important. Because when a horse is nervous, the only tool most of us have been taught to use is to sort of push them through. Like, he has to learn to get over it. The horse must learn to go into the spooky corner. The horse has to learn to stand still. We're just going to stay with it and keep enforcing this until he learns to stand still. And there could be punishment, what we often call correction, but really it's just a version of creating enough pressure on the horse. If you do this, I'm going to create enough pressure that you don't want to do that anymore. However, only using pressure does not inspire the horse to feel well-being in your presence. And really what horses are looking for is a leader that helps them to feel safe. It's that simple. So when horses are guiding each other in the herd, there's not just one leader. It's not like an alpha wolf. There are several horses who take leadership roles. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for us to understand what's important is that the leadership that horses are looking for is other leaders, I might call them a mentor or a sentry, things like that, who inspire them to feel safe and well-being and cared for. So leaders in horse herds, real leaders, are nurturing. They provide a sense of well-being. This is very important for us to understand. Yes, there may be times when a leader says no and nip or a little kick or something to say this is a boundary, but most of the time, on an average day, if you see a herd of horses in a field, they are still most of the time. And you're driving down the highway and there's some horses in a field and they are still. You arrive to get your horse from a field and you're looking and you see them all over there and they're not moving most of the time. And if they are moving, perhaps because there's hay coming and so there's some excitement and they're getting into position to get their dinner. That's exciting. And then they get dinner and there may be a little bit of movement. I want this hay, I want that hay. But after a minute or two, they are still. So I call this stillness a state of being at zero. If you were to say levels of intensity, levels of movement and excitement, from one, a little bit, two, a little bit more, three, getting excited, four, all the way excited. Zero is before this. So zero is peaceful. Most horses want to be in peacefulness most of the time. Because they are a prey animal, it is very important that their nervous system is calm. If their nervous system is not calm, they don't rest well, they don't digest well, and the body functions start to break down. So horses do not thrive with stress. So they have many ways to de-stress themselves. But when a human being shows up, often we come in with the 3 or the 4 level of excitement and intensity. I'm going to ride, we're going to do things, da, 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 da. And so the horse with a human says, all this intensity, all the, and so now for them, intensity is not necessarily happy. Some horses may really love work, and some horses may feel happy to see you. But at the same time, what horses are craving from leadership is 0. So there must be a balance between I'm happy and I am calm. I am happy, we're going to do some fun things. And also, while you're with me, you're safe. So we can do fun things. So this is horse speak. It is not training. It is literally understanding how horses communicate and learning to communicate with them in their language instead of expecting them to understand our language. Training is about modifying behavior. So you want this behavior, you want the horse to stand still while you brush them on cross ties. You want them to canter. You want them to go over a jump. You want piaffe, whatever it is. Training is here's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, learn all the steps. When I do the cue, you do the steps. This is training. Communicating is, hi, how are you? Are you ready? Do you want to come with me? Do you like what we're doing? Do you like the training? Because what if the horses don't like that? And I say, but I do. Can I convince my horse? Oh, please, please, would you like this? If you communicate with your horse, you're much more likely to help them feel good about what the training is that you want to do.